People think that maybe you need to dribble, dunk, shoot threes. No, a combination of your skills and the way you approach anybody you meet on the street. I'm just trying to let them have a use of their time where they can play, go back home, they're tired, then they can sleep. A kid getting into trouble because he get into somewhere or whatsoever. That was my mission in Cameroon. The NBA school is a grassroots program. First thing is to help the kid to learn how to love the game of basketball. I was so blessed to walk into a pathway that was an NBA prospect. One thing I would tell one kid that wants to take basketball seriously or want to take that kid to another level is that he should be able to accept critique, and that has to be accountable for his action. When you put in the work every single day, you are going to earn something out of the game. Remember, the same position you're trying to get, somebody is fighting for that. If you don't put defense and you don't practice the same way, it will not translate to the game. At the NBA basketball school, the kid is supposed to face adversity. The moment that clicked me is walking down the street of Cameroon and see a kid of 13 years old that is like 2 meters walking the street. Yeah. That's where I'm like, you know what? This kid needs somebody to mentor him.
In this episode, we are with Godlove Cham. Hello, Coach. How are you?
Great. I'm great. What about you? How is everything over there with you?
Everything good. Everything good. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining me. And we talked a little bit before the interview, but you're right now in Dubai. You're based in Dubai, but you were in Lebanon for MBA school. How was MBA school and your life going right now?
Beautiful. You know, every time you walk into the gym and you see the smiles from the kids, their faces, they just want to learn how to love the game. It's a blessing.
People know you as the head coach of MBA School Dubai. You've been assisting to run MBA schools, camps and programs all around the world. But what's the first moment you remember when coaching really clicked for you as a purpose?
I would take you back to when discovered that I will really want to be into coaching. That's growing up and had nobody to train me, and I'm like, wait a minute, I can be that guy that will help kids to like reach their highest dreams. The moment that clicked me is walking down the street of Cameroon and see a kid of 13 years old that is like 2 meters walking the street. Yeah. So that's where I'm like, you know what, this kid needs somebody to mentor him, you know. And that time I really took coaching like very, very seriously. So that time that clicked, and I'm like, I need to help this kid. So I'm like, I'm going to do this all my life.
How you met with basketball? Like, why not football or volleyball? Because you know, volleyball players are now becoming tall and they stealing our basketball players and they becoming volleyball players. Why you choose basketball?
First, when I was in school, I played football, basketball, handball, volleyball. Oh. So I was doing everything in school because I was so athletic. What made me to choose basketball is just the vibes of the game and the teaching of the game. So I watched basketball, and the character part of basketball really matters to me because of the way I was raised by my parents. So I'm like, you know what? This sport is like, I think it's something I have to do, because the guys that were playing basketball in school, they were so humble. Everybody wanted to be around them. They were so noticeable. So that time I'm like, you know what? I think I should pay more attention to basketball. So I started playing football less, handball less, and eventually click into basketball more.
So I assume that there is going to be a lot of brothers and sisters from Cameroon and from Africa and South Africa. And I would like to ask, how was your path from Cameroon to Dubai? Like, how you take your steps and then how you reach wherever you are right now?
In Cameroon, I played basketball, played in my university, played in some African championship games. Then I studied physical education and animation in school. I was a PE teacher in Cameroon from 2016 right up to 2020. So I was so blessed to walk into a pathway that was an NBA prospect. I had to help that kid to get out of what he was doing in the street or whatsoever and pursue his education and send him to the NBA Academy in Africa. After that, I just got a call, like, you know what, you would like to work in Dubai? I'm like, yeah. Yes, of course. So I visited Dubai. That was 2020. Then they're like, okay, go check it out. My energy was great. I was positive, and the technical director by then said, hey, I would really want to have this guy in my team. And that's how I got to join the NBA basketball school, and I've been there now. This is my 5th year with the NBA school.
That's amazing. And you said you had an NBA prospect. I want to dive into your philosophy before the story. So if you could design a dream pathway for a young player who wants to go pro, what's the one decision you would require them to make? No negations.
They should be able to be accountable for their action. You know, that's the first thing, especially with the world we live in today, social media and what we see online. Kids don't want to be held accountable. because a lot of stuff is happening right now. So the one thing I would tell one kid that want to take basketball seriously or want to take that kid to another level is that he should be able to accept critique from his coach, from his teammate, from his parent, from whosoever. Once it comes to the game he cherished and loved the most. And that has to be accountable for his action. Once accountability comes in, then we'll talk about his development, which is be a great teammate. He's going to be able to ask this question to himself: how can I get better? How can I help my team get better? How can I help my coach? So all those stuff. And even if he doesn't make it tomorrow, like to be in an NBA or pro level, he's going to use the same skills into whatsoever thing he gets into in life. And I promise you, he's going to be a better person than somebody that is just talented and doesn't have these qualities.
Every coach has a philosophy, right? So what's the one belief about player growth you held early in your career that you completely changed through your experience?
First is that no day off. That's the first thing I have in my life. There is the word no day off that I always try to remember. First thing is, if I play basketball, I should be able to put in the work every single day. A kid comes up to me: hey coach, I'm tired today. All right, you can go home, but make sure you put in some work. Even if it's not basketball related, even if it's like core exercises, if it's like push-up, if it's like working only on your follow-through, doing something that is related to basketball, because basketball don't lie.
Yeah.
Sports don't lie. Every day, when you put in the work every single day, you are going to earn something out of the game. Remember, the same position you're trying to get, somebody is fighting for that. So you are like 200 or thousands of you fighting to be a point guard in a university you don't even know. Maybe you're 8 years old. So you need to outwork others to be able to reach that.
Correct. And I want to get back to the MBA school because that's where the root is, right? That's where amazing experience coaching plant seeds and they become trees. There is a philosophy that people like to call the MBA way, right? The MBA school claims to train players the MBA way. In your own world, what does actually mean on and off the court?
They don't claim. Like, that is the truth. Yeah. When they say the NBA way is the NBA way. First, the NBA school pathway, the NBA school is a grassroots program. First thing is to help the kid to learn how to love the game of basketball, which is kid need to love it. The coach needs to be like enthusiastic. The coach need to be super positive. The coach need to be like detail oriented. The coaches need to know what the NBA basketball school curriculum is all about. So with the NBA basketball school curriculum, design curriculum for these kids that they will learn basketball from the rookie level, which is the beginner level, right up to the MVP, the highest level, which they can be invited to Basketball Without Borders and eventually get into the NBA or any pro level. Now, when they say on and off the court, we focus a lot on this kid's character. It means the first thing we do at practice, we have like an hour and 30 minutes. Every Monday, we have to sit this kid down and we have a word of the week. This word of the week, it might be being a good teammate. And from there, we are going to give them breakdown of different ways of being a good teammate. We are going to show them different videos of NBA players portraying that characteristic, because kids don't know, they want to see it. So the kids try to go back home, do some research, come back to school and like, hey coach, good teammate means you have to high five your teammate, you have to celebrate your teammate, you have to pick your teammate up when he falls down. Those are the little things that matters. But you know what? People don't know about that. People think that maybe you need to dribble, dunk, shoot threes. No, a combination of your skills and the way you approach your coaches, your teammate, your opponent, the refs, your parents, anybody you meet on the street. That is why they say the NBA way, on and off the court.
100%. Like everything we learn on the court, we can adapt off the court. That will be probably we learned the NBA way, but they just called it like the Turkish way or something else. I don't know, but probably that was the NBA way. You talk about the character. In the previous question, you said accountability is the like number one for me. It's weird that sometimes this accountability rules, which is ethics, change in every culture. For example, wearing a hat could be rude in some cultures. I want to ask, you work with different cultures and nationalities: Qatar, Lebanon, Jordan, Georgia. How does coaching change when you are teaching a kid in Dubai versus kid in, let's say, in another countries?
Thank you for that question. I love this question. We have kids from over 65 different countries in the same gym. It means my practice session today starts at 6:30 p.m. I'm going to have over 60 different countries in the same gym.
Yeah.
So that's where the character part of the NBA basketball school comes in. As NBA basketball school coaches with our technical director, we try to look at all those things that these kids are lacking. Then we put them in a one frame. It's like every single kid in that gym wants to play basketball. If you're from China, you're from Cameroon, you're from US, but there is only one thing that they are there for. So we have different methods. First is that when we go into practice today, I see a kid throw the ball at somebody. We just write it down. Now, with all those areas of improvement, that is where we base our character development program. So when we bring all the kids, now we are going to talk about being a good teammate. We are going to talk about not bullying at school. We are going to talk about standing for each other. So all these things is the same. If I go to Lebanon, if I go to Georgia, we say the same thing to this kid because we have crossed the path of a kid that was from Georgia in Dubai. Dubai is like a hub where we have a kid from different places. And now when it goes to their development and the way basketball is, remember, Lebanon might be 10 years ahead of Dubai when it comes to basketball. This thing is like a tradition to them. Like in the Philippines, basketball is like like everybody plays basketball. Yeah. Even a kid that is 2 years old will tell you what a shot look like. You understand? So that is the one thing that is the only difference between Dubai, Georgia, Lebanon, Qatar, Jordan. Overall, we see almost all of these kids in the same gym in Dubai.
And it's case that you have that much of different nationalities. And how you manage these different skill levels when it comes to like not fundamental teaching, but more like skill teaching, some moves and the counters. What's the structure of NBA school?
NBA basketball school has a design curriculum that touches every single kid. So the kid don't meet the coaches. We meet the kid where the kids are. These kids have an evaluation form that is designed by the technical director with all the different skills and concepts this kid learn from the NBA school. No matter how good you are in basketball, no matter where you're coming from, the NBA school curriculum is going to touch those things that you need improvement on. The only thing that comes in now is the difference is the grit, which is not teachable. The grit is like something that comes within. We have to reach them and make them to love the game of basketball because basketball is for everyone. So that's one thing we really focus on.
Yeah, I love it. It's like a holy book, the NBA curriculum.
Yes.
And I love how you say like we find the kids, like kids don't find us, we find them. So that means that you go all around the world, as we know. Like you were in Lebanon when I was talking to you. Now you're back in Dubai. Probably you will go to another country in a few days. So how do you balance intensity of that schedule with keeping your own energy, vision, and your purpose fresh?
The first thing is preparation. We prepare so hard. We have a lot of meetings. You can't imagine how many meetings we will have for a 5-day camp in Lebanon. We are going to have a meeting with the NBA. We are going to have a meeting with the technical director. We are going to have a meeting with the local coaches. We are going to have a meeting with every single person. That makes our job easier. So we prepare before we go into the gym. We have another 30 minutes, 1 hour meeting, just preparing on how we are going to reach those kids. The other thing that keeps my energy high and make me, I can walk all day or move from here to here and have the same energy is the love of the game of basketball. When you love the game and you want to see kids develop, man, that energy will come to you even if you're like tired. You'll be like, when I see a kid run on the court and throw his back somewhere, it's like, this is a safe place. With that big smile on their faces, you're like, oh boy, I need to step up. So that's something that it keeps on going, especially when kids want to learn. Remember, these kids in this generation, we are begging them to come on the court. They're like, prefer being on their phone rather than being on a basketball court. So if I see a kid that sign up for a basketball camp or sign up for an NBA basketball school program, man, I have to give him every single thing I have. We don't have bad practices, and kids don't make our practices bad. Our practices is bad is on us. So we hold ourselves accountable every single day. And once we do that, we're like, hey, you know what? How was practice today, guys? Our post-practice meeting. Every day for the past 5 years. Today was a bit, the kid were a bit tired. And the response of the technical director, what did you do to bring out their energy? We know the kids are tired because they had math, they had chemistry, they had all these things going on in school. When they came back from home, their dad is like, you need to go play basketball. The kid need to feed off our energy. So from playing a one-on-one with a kid or telling a kid something nice he did at school will eventually just boost his energy, and you see practice will be great.
I love the philosophy behind the behind the NBA. So it's like, it's a different kind of view, you know. It's like not many coaches think like this. When you look at the global basketball ecosystem today, what do you think is missing in how coaches develop players, and something nobody talks about but really should?
That is one of the best questions. I really like that.
Thank you.
The approach of basketball has changed. The evolution of basketball is like rapid, which means now instead of focusing like, oh, we have to teach a kid how to hold the ball like a footwork or a passing, and now you have to make sure that there should be constraint. If you teach you how to pass the ball in a real game, you will not pass. Somebody will be guarding you. Yeah, somebody will be guarding you. If I teach you every day, I say, hey, hold your follow through, because this is what we say as coaches. Hold your follow through, jump, stay on balance. If you don't put defense and you don't practice the same way, it will not translate to the game. So the approach the NBA school has is the constraint-based approach, which means that every single thing we do at the NBA basketball school, the kid is supposed to face adversity. So every time we are doing passing, somebody must be in front of you trying to guard you from passing that ball. Every time we play, we are working on shooting, somebody is supposed to be right there trying to stop you from shooting. Every time we are setting screens, like somebody must be there to like stop you from setting that screen. So which make these kids to do what? Improve their IQ, and they figure it out. So we tell kids at practice, we want the ball to leave from right to left. We just say leave from right to left. We do not tell you to pass the ball. We do not tell you what type of passing you can make. That kid will figure out a way to pass that ball because somebody's guarding him. Now, when you see the kid playing, now you ask them that question. Why did we do this? Players lead session. So the coaches are mostly there to guide the kid to understand, to guide the kid to figure out the right things and how to play basketball the right way. Maybe somehow, somewhere, coaches are focusing, oh, you have to shoot the ball like this, you have to pass the ball like this, you have to dribble like this. Are you sure that kid is going to dribble like that in a real game? He is going to change direction based on the adversity he's going to face. Somebody might be faster. He's going to pick that ball from that kid all the time. Somebody might be slower. So how do you match this with practice? So we make practice in a constraint-based approach and a way that the kids figure out things by themselves. And when a coach sees that everything is going right or wrong, he stops the kid and like, hey, wait a minute. Let's look at this again. How can we improve on this? Like footwork. If I want to teach a footwork with kids right now, I just have to say, let's play one-on-one, no dribble. That's already one-on-one, no dribble. It means what would that kid do? That kid is going to front turn. That kid is going to rear turn. That kid is going to fake, short fake. That kid is going to try to finish. That's already footwork I've taught that kid. But not necessarily telling him without the ball, hold your feet like this. You have to drive and stop, a jump stop and turn. It might help. It might not, but the constraint-based approach is what we think that will help and rapid the growth of a kid. We might go to finishing footwork, one-on-one, no dribble. Just go one-on-one, no dribble. That kid is going to finish off contact. So those are some of the ways the NBA school teaches, which really, really helps the next generation. If you check out Chris Oliver, he teaches NBA basketball school in the world, how to approach the new generation. That's how kids figure out things this time. Kids want to be in a challenge. Kids want to figure it out. Because once you keep doing something, kids like, it's boring. When you go to a basketball court now to play, what do you do? Do you warm up? You just said, man, let's play 2-on-2. That's the first thing that comes to your mind. You want to play. So how can you teach kids the fundamentals why they are playing? That is the new approach.
And talk about your philosophy that you gained from a story of a kid that you got him at the age of 8. So can you tell us more about that?
There's this kid, he plays with the Toronto Raptors. His name is Shamshe. I knew Shamshe when Shamshe was 13 years old. I was a PE teacher in a school, and Shamshe had this financial issue. Parents back in Africa and other places in the world, you're like, hey, you cannot go to practice. You need to go to the farm. You need to do other stuff to take care of your school fee. You need to do this, and that. He could not come to the school like every time to practice. So I had to approach the grandmom and the parents, like, hey, please, he might be something tomorrow. I was just helping out. I had nothing like, oh, he will go pro. Like, it was like, I'm helping out this kid because he really loves basketball. So the parents like, hey, Coach Godlove, it's okay. He's all yours, but he needs to do this, and that. So you have to do that at home before you can go to practice. So it helped that kid to be able to be more positive at home and do some stuff. So I posted his picture on my social media. That was my Facebook in 2019. And somebody saw this picture. That's somebody I've known before. Like, Godlove, who is this kid? I said, his name is Yuri. She's like, how old is he? I'm like, he's 13. Like, what? And how tall is he? I don't even know, because I'm just teaching this kid to get out of the street. I'm just teaching this kid not to get into trouble. I'm just trying to let them have a use of their time where they can play, go back home, they're tired, then they can sleep. A kid getting into trouble because he get into somewhere or whatsoever. That was my mission in Cameroon. I was not taking a franc from this kid, no money from this kid. I would contact my friends from wherever they are. They would send balls, jerseys, some would send me shoes. I would give these kids every term. I would give them for free. So I go to the court. The court was free to make them a bit focused and know there might be something that comes out of basketball. Ulrich was one of those kids. When this guy saw that picture, he said, hey, Godlove, wait, I'll get back to you soon. Then 30 minutes later, I got a call from Joe Tuomo. That's my mentor. He was the associate technical director of the NBA Academy in Africa. So they sent him to come to Cameroon and see that kid. He came to Cameroon and did all the tests. I'm like, hey, Godlove, you know what? This kid is an NBA prospect. I'm like, it was funny to me. It was funny to the kid. So we had to convince the parent again. Just to take that kid to NBA Academy in Africa, we had to convince the parent for like 2 months. The parent, oh, I can't let my kid go. Oh my God, I can't let my kid. I had to beg that the parent finally signed the contract. This kid went to NBA Academy. He's amazing. He's 2 meters 11. He has wide arms. He can move, run the court up and down. He can shoot. He can, like, all the stuff. NBA Academy had to like help him to develop his skills. Then he was drafted in 2024. He was the 57th pick of the draft to the Toronto Raptors. So that's what gave me joy. That program with me, some of them, 3 or 4 of them that play in the national team, U16, U18, that gives me joy. So that has been the pathway and what I've done so far with those kids that were around me.
That's an amazing story. That's like reminded me the movie on Netflix with Adam Sandler and Harlan Gomez. What was it called? Hustle.
Yeah, hustle.
Yeah, hustle. Right. Yeah, I think that's a really important thing that you have made, and then how you inspired the next generation. I hope that will help somebody that is in, not in a good situation to get a good point, because there is, it's lead by example as a coach from you and as a player from him. Thank you for all the lessons that you gave, and thank you for joining me for this talk. Thank you for everything.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys doing this. It will really help grow the game of basketball. You don't know how important this is. When Tremaine told me about this, I'm like, yes, like anything I can do in this world to help grow the game of basketball, I will do it. I told him that when we met in Georgia, and he's like, okay, Godlove, there is somebody that's going to talk to you and ask you some questions. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and keep doing what you're doing. It's going to like change the way people look at the game of basketball and help a lot of coaches to be able to approach the basketball teaching in the new way and how to help the kids to develop both on and off the court, which is more important.
I appreciate you, and big shout out to Trayman Dalton.
That's my man there.
From him, thank you for him to link us up for this talk, and thank you for all the kind words. And I hope I can catch you in UAE or if you come to Europe or anywhere, and I hope I can catch you in real life as well.
Yeah, please. When you come to UAE, just let me know so that we can talk more.
Deal. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.